Hey, good morning, guys. All right, so I just got the little supplemental out. That's got the code on it. If you're here for the code, it'll be down here as well on this one, but there's also another video out discussing a little bit about my channel. So if you're new to it, you might want to check that out as well. Or you just hang out for coffee talk. That works for me as well. So it's been a bit of a hectic morning as I realized that when I put on the schedule for coffee talk on Sunday, I put 0700, which I'm up early, but I'm not up early enough to do all this and be done with it by 7. In fact, it's 7:24 and I'm late. I just posted it, so apologies for being late on that. All right, it's been a long weekend, a long good weekend actually, 4th of July. So I hope you enjoyed that. Even my Brit friends out there. See, I'm wearing the Brit flag there. All right, so I'm feeling it for the red coats after getting their rears handed to them. So you know, that whole thing's a gift that keeps on giving, right? It was a real war. Real people got hurt. It's maybe we shouldn't make fun of it, but I guess at some point you have to be able to have a laugh, right? Otherwise, everything gets really too serious really fast, and that was a long time in the past. That was a tangent. We just right into it, didn't we? Just right into the tangent. So happy 4th. Enough of the 4th. I streamed a couple times this weekend, at least once, maybe twice. That was enjoyable. We gave away a T78. In fact, we gave away 2 T78s. One of which will not be credited until Domo gets back to work, hopefully on Monday. So that was quite enjoyable. Picked up quite a few more followers and subscribers. I do appreciate that very, very much. Just as a side note on that, the money that I get from Twitch and YouTube, which obviously isn't a whole bunch, but it trickles in every now and again, I am turning that back in over, or a large percentage of it anyway, over to you guys. I'm using it for the system. I'm using it for the channel, obviously to help grow it, but I'm also using it to have goodies for you guys on the stream and potentially on the channel. So that's what I do with that money. What else is happening? I'm going to be playing some ships. And I know some of you guys said, don't go to the dark side, do not do it, but I've been doing it. I did it. I went and did it. But I've enjoyed it a little bit. Yeah, it is. People say it's a little more relaxing. It is to some extent, but I'm still competitive, so I want to do well at it. I'm a complete noob trying to figure it out, but I am enjoying it. The grind is actually fairly easy down at the lower tiers. If you understand World of Tanks and how it works, the general mechanics of the grind, the experience, the unlocking of things, that kind of stuff, it will be vaguely familiar to you. You will be able to navigate through it. I thought their new onboarding system was better. They do have some co-op battles which are fairly easy to win, and you can learn the mechanics while playing with other players on your team against a bunch of bots. At the lower tiers, there are bots that are in there to fill in the games if they need to do so. So they do some things over there, I think, that help with the new player experience. Some of the camo mechanics and things that happen as far as that goes are a little bit different as well, but I've enjoyed it overall. That being said, Saturday, I am going to start Ship Saturday. So on Saturday, I will be featuring some ship stuff. So don't get angry. Leave the pitchforks. Just wait till you see it. maybe I can bring some of you with me over to ships. I am also going to eventually get to airplanes. One of the things I did do with some of the money that I got from the channel is I bought a nice Thrustmaster joystick and throttle quadrant. I was going to get that A10 one, which is actually pretty close to the one I used in my career, but man, they wanted $400 for that bad boy. So, and while that wasn't, while I can do that, I just went, I don't know. And some of the reviews said that some of the bits were plastic and kind of cheap. While it felt kind of robust, there were some cheap pieces in there. Again, that's another tangent. Anyway, so I eschewed that one. Eschewed. That is now my favorite work. Favorite word, eschew. Bless you. It does sound like that, doesn't it? So Ship Saturday is coming up. Hey, I might get windows soon, guys. You can still see back there. I've got there it is. The plywood is still in that one window and another one in my son's room. So, yes, there's the steeple. Somebody noted that the other day. This is when I start to impart wisdom. I will steeple my fingers. And what I'm doing, when you see my eyes, I'm looking at myself. I need to make sure. This camera thing, that is a skill, by the way. The whole looking into the camera and doing it naturally. As you watch, see, I look away into the space as I'm talking, but as you watch people who do broadcast news and things, and they're always looking right at you. It's all very, hey, you know, it's all between you and the broadcaster. That's a skill, because it's not easy to do, because I'm just looking at Logitech, this little tiny camera, and then I've got some Star Wars guys and a couple tanks up there. But it's a skill. So we've got another. See, I don't want to do it all the time. It's embarrassing, right? It's like, yeah, he's staring into my soul, man. Where in the heck was I? Windows. I should be getting Windows soon. And of course, wouldn't you know it, they're supposed to come in on the 2 weeks that I'm on vacation, which is the next item. The last 2 weeks of July, I'll be on vacation. I will have videos lined up. I may do a few live shots from the deployed location. Somebody got a kick out of that last week, calling it the deployed location. We'll be up in the mountains in Utah having a good time up around Park City. So I will maybe upload some things up there. Maybe I can show you guys some deer or elk or moose. I can definitely show you some deer. Definitely show you moose. We almost never, we always see moose. The elk will be trickier. Maybe I'll try to find some elk to show you guys. They're up there, but they're not in the same numbers as the other two. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a deer up there, and pretty much moose as well. Okay, so that is channel news. We blew through the intro. We went right to channel news, and now we're going to move on to missions and specials. So let's do this thing. Remember, the code is down there. There's another video earlier today that discussed my channel and some things about me. If you're new to the channel, that'll help you kind of understand where I'm coming from. I do need to update my intro as well. That's on the intro page of the channel, because right now it's not very very quality. Also, did you like the new intro? Did you like the new intro? Check out down below. There'll be a list of where I got that. Fingolfin Films. Fantastic. Fishbone, I believe, is the guy's handle, at least on Discord. Great kid, doing good work with the whole graphics thing, so he built that for me. I appreciate that from him and a couple of his helpers, and he's got some music which is listed as well where that came from. So I hope you like the new intro. That's the one I'm going to be using. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you, because that's the intro. I can't help you if you don't like it, unless I make a new one later. All right, let's move on to missions and specials. So I just realized I call it missions and specials, but I always do specials then missions. Anybody notice that? Is that annoying? I often get on Wargaming's case for attention to detail, but that's how I've got it set up. I'm going to leave it. Just call it one of those little idiosyncratic things about Guido's Coffee Talk. He says missions and specials, but he does specials and missions. Isn't that clever of him? Isn't that so tricky? But the T-78 is on sale, so buy one, because I get a kickback. That's not true. How old is that joke? I think I've used that joke nearly every time. I need a new joke. Anyway, the T-78 is out. You can get it paired with the Patriot. You can also get a Patriot rental this weekend, although you're probably late to the fight if you don't have it yet. It's pretty easy. We'll look at it in the missions. Maybe you can knock it out today and have fun on Sunday afternoon with your rental, but I think it's only 10 battles that you get it. It's good. Both of those are good. I think the Patriot was slightly overpowered when it first came out, but it's relatively relatively balanced in today's age of power creep. We're going to talk a little bit about that later when we get into the ammo rebalance shenanigans that are about to come up. So you can get all kinds of versions of the T-78. Let's get into another tangent right here right off the bat. Notice that this T-78 does not have the camo, and that is the base T-78 that you can buy for 21 bucks. That comes with nothing but, oh, that's not true, you get gold in that too. Isn't that interesting? Can you not buy the stupid T-78? I think that's, oh, okay, see, it gets even better. All right, so let's tangentize this, because I got into this when I gave away a T-78. I took some of that money that I got from you guys and YouTube and all, you know, the support of the channel, and I bought, or I gave away a T-78 on stream. And I finally figured out how on Streamlabs to do a, what is it, like not a poll, but a raffle. So I did a raffle, and everyone, you type a little thing in, exclamation raffle, and your name is entered in the raffle, and then I press a button, and the computer randomly finds it. It uses Wargaming's RNG. So it reaches back into its API, and it grabs your personal RNG, and if Wargaming hates you, then you have a worse chance. I think that's how it works. Anyway, the guy that won it, or gal, I think it's a guy, I don't know, it doesn't matter. The person There you go. See, I can learn. Old people can learn. The person, the individual who won it. I went to give them the tank, right? So I need to have their in-game name. I got that. And I go into the shop, and I'm looking at this, and I go, okay, well, how do I... Where's just the tank? And I'm searching around, and you can't get just the dang tank. Actually, I thought I did, which is why I'm telling you this whole story. I thought I did, because I went and I gave him this. But I didn't realize this actually has 1,000 gold with it. Got an itch I got to take care of right there. All right. So you can't buy just the tank. There's no sale for just the tank. Hold on. Let's skip around, because this is... I have realized this in real time. All right, this is live video of Guido realizing this. There it is, just 21 bucks with gold. So that person got gold too. Good on him. That's fine. That's fine. I gave away a tank and 1,000 gold. Now I'm a better person, right? I'm pretty excited this morning because I've had a lot of coffee. Some mornings, don't you just have some mornings where you've really got a lot of energy? And maybe that's not just the coffee, you just do. I'm going to crash at about noon and I'll have to take my old guy nap. All right. Oh, man, speaking of around noon, when is the World Cup game? Go USA. Even though I don't do politics, I have some issues with some of the things that some of the players say. Not because they have a belief, but because I think their avenue is crap. But anyway... Go USA. That'll be cool. Hopefully it's a good game. I hope there's no flopping. Did you guys see that? Okay, so did you watch? I know Pilgrim watched it. Pilgrim had to have watched it. The USA versus England game. But it's time for a tangent because it annoyed the living heck out of me. How about that red card? Was that not the largest sack of BS you've ever seen in your life? The American player gets nicked, does a pirouette, actually a very graceful pirouette, and looked like could have easily come down on 2 feet. Like, man, I just survived the collision. Look at my athleticism. Hits the ground with 1 foot and then launches herself like a pogo stick into the air and backwards. Lands on her back like she'd been shot by a sniper. And then the poor English girl gets a red card. And they're down 1. In the most critical phase of the game. Down 2-1, down 1 goal, and now they're down a player from a ridiculous flop. That actually angered me for England. I have to tell you, it actually angered me. And I know that, I know it's part of the game, and the real fans are going to be like, hey, look, man, that's how it goes. And every time I hear that, I think, well, if that's how it goes, that's bullshit. Fix it. Anyway. Man, I got excited about that, didn't I? Where were we? Oh, we were talking about the T-78. So anyway, yeah, you can't get it without 1,000 gold. And then, here's the best part. So what I told them on stream is, I'm going to give a T-78 and the Federalist style, because that's how I am. I'm going to splash out, and you'll get a T-78, you'll get a Federalist style, and won't I be cool, and won't you be styling in your new tank? And I went, oh, I can't get the Federalist style without spending 40 bucks and getting a bunch of other crap I don't want. Why do you do this, Wargaming? I know why. It's a rhetorical question. Stop doing it. You know, tangent number 7. The gaming community is really getting tired of this crap. Reference the EA shenanigans that are going on and the complete backlash. On the one hand, I am in EA's arena on the marketing side and understanding marketing and understanding that this industry is about making money. But on the other hand, it's becoming a meme. And the audacity of the companies with some of these things is really starting to grate on people. Right? Yes, close your wallet, don't spend if you don't want to spend the money. I got it. But you're creating cool stuff that people want, and then you're really just... You're being the grain of sand, and every day that grain of sand is in the wrong crack. You're pissing people off, really. This is one of those things, and it's a small thing. I say that a lot. I love the game. I play the game a lot. I enjoy doing this, but this is a minor irritation that doesn't have to happen. Why can you not just get the tank in the Federalist style? Why? It's stupid. Unless I'm missing it, and I don't see it here anywhere. I don't see it. So I don't think you can just get the tank in the Federalist style. Here is the Patriot and just the Patriot style, which apparently doesn't cost anything extra. That's another thing, by the way. This tank comes with a style on it. Is that baked into the $43.99, or is it the same price as other tier 8s of a similar bent? So we got a little goofiness going on there as well. Why can't this be the Patriot style? Well, because they sell the unpainted and the painted. But in this case, they have the unpainted and painted as the same tank. But it's a style that I can't just buy the style. Ah! What the hell is happening? Oh, man. Okay. I think that was all I wanted to rant on that one. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And God knows it's all about my enjoyment and not yours, as long as I'm having a good time. That's the best way to run one of these kind of things. Just be self-indulgent. Yeah. All right, the Hawk 30 is on sale. That's pretty good. I actually like the Hawk 30. I came down on it a little bit in my review. It has grown on me. It's not, I don't think it's overpowered. Some people do consider it a little bit. It's a lot like what the RU-251 used to be at Tier 8. I do enjoy that tank. It does have a couple weaknesses, like being very soft and very large. So I don't think it's LT-432 levels of OP, but it's good, let's put it that way. Gold, I don't think there's anything to say on that. Premium account, nothing else to say there. I can use, oh, by the way, I didn't really get one over on them, but when I bought that T78, I was able to use a coupon, and I saved a couple bucks by giving it away. So there you go. So maybe at the end, I got my gold for almost free, or he got his gold. Them. See, this is confusing for an old guy. I can't keep up. Anyway, vehicles. I don't think there's anything else here. This is interesting. The 740F. I don't know if I have that. I think I have that one. 28 bucks. Holy cow. What does this come with? It does have the gold too. So here we go. We can't just get this. Now, is this the new normal? I can't just get the tank that's featured. I have to have the gold with it too. Ah, bloody heck, that's annoying. All right, specials. Same stuff, folks. Nothing else to add here. Oh, look at that. 1357 is still on sale. That's a good tank. Does that got gold? No, it's got missions. That just seems to be the tank itself. That's actually a good deal. 1489. Wow. That's a pretty darn good deal for that tank. That's a fantastic tank. Look, I don't usually say buy something, but if you're a scout guy and don't have that bad boy and you can get it for 1489, you need to jump all over that thing. That's probably the best deal in the shop right there by miles. All right, let's go on to missions. All right, so I had some fun looking at the missions this morning because I was looking at the Foxtrot missions and they were driving me bananas. Let's start with July Mission Madness. This is where you can get a TOG at the end, but it's probably going to cost you, you look at it, you got to do 7 top 12 wins. Yikes, a day. And you can do that for 31 days. How many days are in this month? 31. So you can do that 31 times. If you figure you're a 50% win rate person, if you're going to do math, you might go, well, let's just count on a 50%. That means 14 games. Add 2 slop for not being in the top 12, depending on how good you are. That's 16 games. That's 16 times 31. You do the math. It ends up being like 700 something to 800 games, depending on how good you are. No, wait, sorry. 700. I think it's 400 to 500 games, depending on how good you are. That's a lot. Just to grind out a TOG. But there are some other goodies along the way, some premium days, lots of consumables. You've got some personal reserves, so not bad as far as that goes. Quite a grind for a TOG. If you want a TOG, you play a lot, you may just naturally get it. There you go. Foxtrot rewards. This one, I don't know, folks. I am stumped again on the Foxtrot, just like I was the Echo rewards. So first reward is I can do 3 in a day, and I get ×2 crew, and that makes sense to me. Okay, and I have to do it in the King Tiger captured, and I get ×2 crew. All right, that's fine. And if I do 3, then my reward is, or maybe each time I get it, the reward is one of these tokens, a heavy tank token. All right, so fine. Heavy tank token, second reward. All right, so what do I have to do here? Play a battle. And what I have to have is 3 of 15, which I have now. So once I get 3 of 15, I play a battle and I get a UK token. And then I go to the, but nothing else apparently, right? Did you see? I didn't see anything else. I don't see, there's no ×2, there's no goodies. I get a token. All right, okay, fine. So then I go to the third reward and I do it 30 times. I get 30 of these anyway, 30 heavy tank tokens. And then I get another UK token, which means I should have 2 when I do that, I guess. I don't know. And then I go to the fourth reward, which is backwards, by the way. I don't know why, but it is. Doesn't it go 2, 3, 4? I don't know. From left to right, that's kind of the standard. Is Russian different? Do they start from the bottom of the page and go backwards? I don't know. I do it 45 times, then I get another one of these, and then I get this, the Iron Seal token. Okay, all right, so I've collected 45 of these, finally. Do I have 3 of these now? And why? But I do have one of these, I guess. And now I'm on the fourth reward. And there's no fifth, and I go to final reward. All right, well, what do we get? All right, on the final reward, I have to have one of these. What happened to the British tokens? What do they do for me? I don't know. Maybe the first time I got one, then that opened the others. I don't know. Possibly there was only one to be had, and then I opened the second, third, and fourth, and that's why I was able to do them, because I had that token. That may be what was going on there. But in any event, I need one of these guys. So I get one of these guys, then I have ×5. And what I think has happened here is once I play the King Tiger Captured enough, and I get this token after 45 of the heavy tank tokens, and whatever the British token means, I guess it unlocked the other missions, I think, then I can get ×5 crew experience on what it appears to be as any tank. Okay, now that's not bad. However, I don't know if that expires, because these guys run from until Monday, July 29th, which means you need to blast through all this first reward, get enough of these things to unlock that. Does that mean then I have to play my 30 battles of the final reward right before the end of the month? Or is this a permanent, the next 30 battles I play? I don't know. This is why the mission system drives me crazy, because I don't get it. I sort of get it, but I don't understand the ins and outs of it. So it's hard to plan for. Anyway, there you go. If someone has any insight on that, put it down in the comments. I'd appreciate that. Player tank class right is standard. British versus Empire. I think this is listed somewhere, excuse me, on where we are. And the last time I saw a number, the USA was well ahead. And it goes to the 8th, which is tomorrow. So we'll find out if the Continental Army won again. Happy Independence Day. There was quite a few missions there. That's where it unlocks. These were pretty easy. That's the T-26E5 I talked about unlocking. Scavenger hunt has not changed. Let's see. I have not put my code in today. So let's see how many I've redeemed. It should say 6. Yes, okay. Once I put my code in, that will say 7. Once I redeem it, it will say 7. And then if I go over here, this tells me, again, crazy. Completed 6 times. All right, so that's the mission. Then, right, so this is how many I have redeemed, meaning I've put the code in. This is how many I have actually finished the mission, which once I play the game and get in the top 10, then this will click over to 7 after I redeem it. Confusing enough? That's what's happening there. And then these are the checkpoints. So I've done 5, so I got this. Once I get to, again, it's backwards. At least it's backwards without being out of order. 12, I get these. 20, I get another slot. Cool. Easy peasy, man. Another slot. You're a free-to-play player. You just do 20 of these codes, and boom, you got yourself a slot after you play the game, of course. 10,000 experience. Remember when you get to here, when you redeem your... I'm trying to remember how this works. When you redeem your 30th code, is it the next game, or is it the game after you do the redemption game and get these goodies? I don't remember. Be careful with that. What I would do in this case, once you put in your 30th code, I would take the tank you want the experience to go on. I would play it once, see if it went on it. I don't remember what happened last month, guys. If you remember down below, put it down in the comments. And then if the experience doesn't go on that tank and all you get are these things, then play it the second time and you'll get the 10,000 experience on that bad boy. And the same thing for the 31st. That would be my technique, just to make sure there are no weird shenanigans going on. I will often be very careful in situations like that, even if it worked one way in the past. That takes away some of the variables, and things change randomly sometimes. The 110E5 is on track. Other missions don't matter, premium missions. All right, that is it for missions. Let's move on. Where are we? We are on... Talked about the T-78 and camo stuff. All right, let's go on to the subjects du jour and have some fun over there. Okay, subjects du jour. First thing I wanted to note is, remember that care package, I mentioned it earlier, Foxtrot is out. This is a little bit goofy on the website. I'm not logged in right now, but I've claimed the Captured King Tiger. I've got care package Foxtrot that I've claimed, and then it says July. That seems to be some kind of mistake. There is not another box in July. This is the July box right here. There'll be another one in August. That's my understanding. All right, so we don't want to do that. Anyway, there you go. It has a British commander and a couple other goodies related to the British. I think a lot of people are waiting to put that British commander into the new light tank line that's coming out. There'll be a new tech tree line. Which reminds me of another thing I would like to talk about here real quickly is, and let's actually go to the next thing I really want to talk about, and then I will relate it to the other thing. The one thing and then another thing. All right, the one thing is there are a bunch of premiums coming out, but it's related to the other thing, which I think we need to start the MTTGA. It's sort of like Make America Great Again, but it needs to be Make the Tech Tree Great Again. There are a ton of premiums coming out, and it does not seem like they're working too hard on tech tree stuff. I wish they would swap that a little bit and make the tech tree a little bit more important. I mean, people are all grinding the tech tree because there's a couple good gems on the line that they want. But really, it's mostly about premiums these days. We got the M48E2 Rahmenpanzer, and this appears to be a German tank. It has a digger on it. So this is going to be interesting. Is this thing going to get in the way as you're trying to go up and over some of the weird terrain in this game? Will it be high enough that it doesn't matter? Will it move? I don't even know what to do with that one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The TL1 LPC, which is, I don't know where that thing's from. What is it? Where's it from? Looks like an American tank. The E75TS, which apparently has a low gun, a Tiger II turret, and an E75 hull. Okay. The TL1 LPC, is that the same thing that I just looked at? Yes. More stuff. All right, TL1 LPC. Yes, it is a U.S. tank. We have the Rahmenpanzer showing up again and getting into the tech tree line for the Brits. Over on the Armored Patrol, I think they had another list. No, that's not it. All right, so lots of tanks coming up as far as premiums go. Not a whole lot of work on tech tree lines, though we do have a British tech tree line coming up for light tanks, which I think is going to be well received. That's the tier 9 right there. The GSOR 3301 AVRFS. They ran out of names like Griffin and Hunchback and such, and now they just make a bunch of gibberish numbers. The Brits. You Brits, you're crazy. All right. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, ammo tests. So care package, yes, ammo test. Okay. So this is a coming train wreck. And it's because the developers, for whatever reason, don't want to actually address the problem that they have in their game. And the problem, one of the problems, and it's not the insurmountable problem, it's not the impossible dream, it's not a problem that's ruining the game. It is causing issues, though. And it's causing issues with their balance. And the problem is that they've got two ammo types with wildly different, in general, two ammo types with wildly different pen values. And of course there's HE, and that's the HE mechanic. That's a separate thing. But the regular AP, or whatever regular round the tank carries, whether it's APCR or whatever, and the gold round, special round, whatever you want to call it, the special round, the one that costs more, has a lot more pen in general. Some to a whole bunch more, depending on what it is. There are some different mechanics for APCR and heat. Those are important to the game as well. But the big issue is you've got a armor to pen balance problem in the game. That's what they are trying to balance for their game. And it's hard to do with the amount of guns, the amount of calibers, the amount of different pens you're dealing with, the amount of armor that you're dealing with, and the sheer amount of tanks. And you're never going to perfectly balance unless you made everything have the exact same stats, and that's not what the game's about. But you do try to cut off the edges of it so that you don't get completely imbalanced tanks. And right now they're having an issue with the gold rounds, the regular rounds, and the armor values. Well, their fix right now on the ammo or on the sandbox, what they're testing is that they're going to increase apparently the alpha of the regular rounds, is what I am reading here. And I'm looking at the numbers. For example, we take the IS. I thought the IS was a good example because it's tier 7. Lower tiers are going to increase the hit point pool, but at the same time they're going to increase the damage for regular rounds. That is to make them more desirable than they were, so that in their words they want the player to make a determination, a cost-benefit analysis of which type of round they're shooting based on the situation. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I think that's the wrong way to go about it. Attempting to force an outcome by a design is a bad idea. I think the design should be neutral enough that the game is fun, but you don't have preconceived notions about what the outcome is. Then you watch the outcome, and then you work around the edges if the outcome becomes too out of balance for your game. But attempting to force an outcome with some giant esoteric idea of making your players make certain calculated decisions based on what you think should happen as a designer is a horrendously bad design plan. Horrendously bad, especially in a mature game like this where the meta is pretty dang solid. You're really screwing with your base meta, and I don't think you understand the ramifications. I know I don't, but I can already see some that seem fairly obvious to me. So for example, the IS was at a 390 alpha. Sandbox Test 1 brought it up to 525. That's ridiculous. That really, to me, the IS really kind of encapsulates the problem. Now, to be fair, the second test has brought it down to 480, but that's still a huge hit. And then across the board, all these different standard rounds are going to do more damage. They talked about gold rounds doing less damage, but they've seemed to have changed gears, and they're attempting to make the regular rounds do more damage. Now, there's some interesting verbiage up here. I know I parse this verbiage quite a bit, and some of it's semantics, and I am being pedantic, so I do admit that up front. But every time I read stuff from them, I'm left scratching my head sometimes. And when I try to read between the lines, I guess I can be wrong at times, but not all the time, right? But this is the public answer, right? This is what they have put out. So this is what we have. All we have is this. This is what we have to talk about. It's English. It's probably translated from the Russian, European, whoever it is that put it out there. So all that stuff matters. So let's just look at it and talk about it for a second. After completing the first iteration of ammo rebalancing tests, we carefully analyzed your feedback and the data obtained. Okay, that sounds fair enough to me. We made the necessary conclusions, revised some of our previous decisions, okay, and are now excited to invite you to participate in the next round of tests. This may be reading a lot into it, but we made the necessary conclusions. You don't make conclusions. You can come to some conclusions. The data can point towards some conclusions, but if you're making conclusions, to me that indicates a pre-baked idea of what you want to hear. I could be really just parsing this too much, right? Unpacking it too much, but it's important because that's what all I have to read as an English speaker. This is your Wargaming's official here's what we're doing, with a pretty important change in game mechanics. I just found that kind of terminology very interesting. According to the results of our surveys, many players who took part in the ammo rebalancing test on the Sandbox server agreed with the suggested changes. What's many? 95%, 75%, 50 out of 500, 50 out of 51? Again, maybe not a big deal, but did many players also disagree? I mean, I think if you use the word many, I think then the corollary to that is many players disagreed. So that does not fill me with confidence. It is not strong wording. It is not strong wording at all. Most of their questions and suggestions were related to individual but certainly important aspects. All right, so this one's easy. And if you've watched the company for any amount of time, the translation here is they had some specific questions, but they don't understand the big picture. Only we do. That has been the modus operandi for the company, and really any gaming company, or lots of gaming companies. There are many gaming companies. There, I did it too. I can do that also. I can make it sound important and authoritative just by using many. That's the way I feel about that terminology right there, which we need to pay close attention to. Fair enough. Okay. I like that they're listening. Definitely like that they're listening as far as that goes. I just think that what this 3 paragraphs seem to me, what they seem to me, the way I interpret those is we have a big picture. We know where we want to go with this. Thanks for your input. We tweaked some things, but we know the big picture, you don't. And I just have to say, you know, this is really going down a road I'm not liking. Now, also to be fair, I haven't participated in Sandbox. All right, so I will put that out front. I play the game. I don't want to be their testing guy. I don't, right? So I just want to complain about it. I understand that, guys. I got it. I know you're probably going, well, Guido, then shut up. You have nothing to say about it. All right, well, I am an observer of the passing scene, and I am observing as we go. During the test, standard shells perform much better than the special ones. Well, I mean, they're doing 35% more damage. I don't know if you realize this, but your game is a hit point reduction game. And Sandbox players, as a general rule, are probably some of your more astute players. Even if maybe their stats aren't good, they're probably very experienced, and they know where weak spots are. And they're salivating going, oh, you're telling me I can do 525 if I just shoot AP and somehow get around beside someone? Well, maybe now that trade, where normally I would not come raging out and get around beside someone, now that looks pretty juicy to me, 525. You mean I have a 500 hit point enemy and I only have to get a normal to slightly high roll and take a hit and come out and hit him in the side? Well, heck, I'll do that. That works for me. In the past, you wouldn't do it because you look at that 500 and go, 390. Well, let me load some heat here and see if I can't punch through his front armor again. See, that's just one scenario of how massive a meta change, an idea like this is, where tanks are hitting that hard without a significant hit point pool increase. At which point, then, what's the point? Right? Which that's not what they're doing. It's lower tiers are getting more hit points, but they're also getting hit for more damage. Now, to be fair, once again, they have dialed it back, but still, we're looking at 480 on the IS. 23% of 390 is quite a bit. What about all the 240 alpha tanks? Quite a few 240 alpha tier 7s out there. They're not going to get nearly the bonus that bad boy's going to get. Is it graduated? Did they actually get more? I don't know. See, these are all questions that I have about this. Unsurprisingly, they found out that tanks like the Grill that went from 750 to 1060 were a little overpowered. That one seemed obvious to me, folks. I mean, I don't know, guys. It's don't think. So you know what their fix is? We're going to reduce their hit point pools by 5%. All right, that's not their entire fix. They did drop it down from 1,060 to 930. Because what the game needs, clearly what the game needs, is a situational shell in an already high pen tank that can drop $1,000 on you. More high alpha. That's what we need. Look, man, I'm gonna say it again. I'm not gonna sit here and say I have the fix necessarily. I think from watching the design, from watching the game, from playing the game a whole bunch, the key is not this. The key is reducing the pen of the gold rounds. That will make them less. That will make them less desirable because they cost more, and then you're going to have to start working on your armor. But the problem is they don't want to do that kind of big global thing. They just want to work on one mechanic. And the problem with that is that the second, third, secondary, and tertiary effects of that on the meta is going to be massive. I don't know, man. This looks like a train wreck in development, but it's still on sandbox. So this could have nothing come of it whatsoever. Very possible for nothing to come of this whatsoever. But they're kind of hell-bent on changing the gold rounds. And right now this is their direction. Whether it was increase the damage of the gold round, or decrease the damage of the gold round, or increase the damage of the regular round. And I just do not accept the idea of, and don't like the idea of, this whole, hey, we want to create these different incentives for different rounds, so that in these right situations, the player uses the right round. You already have that to some extent, right? The gold round has higher pen, it costs more. The HE round has lower pen, it does a lot of damage if it pens. Those are game mechanics that work right now. What you need to do is tweak around the edges to make your already working meta and game mechanics work better, instead of just throwing out the baby with the bathwater and attempting to restart and rehack the meta 8 years into it. That's insane. It is. It's absolutely insane. And one thing that's really interesting here, last thing we'll talk about, is game statistics. And this was the most telling thing for me, because what was brought up is, hey, some players raised concerns that after increasing the number of hit points, the game statistics, average damage, average experience, etc., would no longer be relevant. Duh. And is that the actual reason you don't do it? Because my statistics will be messed up? No. But the statistics tell the story of the meta that's worked for 8 years. Pretty dang good. And it has issues around the edge because of power creep and the fact that your pen values between regular rounds and gold rounds are too much. Well, why not narrow that band a little bit? Narrow that band a little bit. Tweak a little bit of armor here and there. Maybe add weak spots on some of the tanks with no known frontal weak spots. And do it slowly and surely instead of this ridiculous idea. That's going to take all your statistics, all of your meta, and turn it over. That's my 2 cents on this. Sandbox, got it. Nothing may come of it. Very possible. Could be the boy crying wolf. But I'm just commenting on the passing scene and what I'm seeing here. Very, very interesting, though. I think it's very interesting. I'll keep an eye on it. You guys keep an eye on it. Please let me know your thoughts down below. There may be plenty of people. And if you've been in a sandbox and seen it and say, Guido, you're full of it, it works. Okay. Fair enough. Put it down there. Let's discuss it. That'll be great. That'll be great. Yeah, I'm going to need you to come in on Sunday. Okay, I think that's it. Let's get to a conclusion here. All right, guys, check this out. Late breaking news I just found while I was looking for the forum post of the day. So the forum post of the day is going to be somebody un-effing me on what's going on with these missions, because there is an actual claim care package Foxtrot article, which I dug up through a link. Thank you for that. We'll find out who that fine person was in just a minute. However, remember when I said I thought there wasn't a whole bunch going on with the Foxtrot? Well, guess what? A good preparation for getting ready for your light tank British line, because at the second reward you get 8 universal blueprints and 2 national. I wish that was opposite. I have a lot of universal. But anyway, 2 national. On the 3rd reward, you get 2 national. On the 4th reward, you get 2 national. There you go. So there are some other things in there, as well as you get some. I mentioned there was some other loot, but you get the 5-1 rental, the AC4 experimental rental. Experimental rental, that rhymes. Look at that. And special loot. There's the commander with Harold Nelson Scott. Get it, Nelson Scott. He's got 6 cents, jack of all trades and repairs. Why he has jack of all trades and not brother in arms, I don't know. But 200 gold, you can fix that. You get the tea time emblem. I think you get 6 or 10 of those. And some other goodies. You can see other goodies in a day of premium. 1 day of premium. Anyway, there you go. I just wanted to throw out there. Who was this fine person who hooked us up? War Child. No, not War Child. General Panzer. Well done, General Panzer. Thank you for that. That uneffed Guido's blathering about the Foxtrot thing. All right, that's it for today, guys. Happy Sunday. Grab your coffee. Enjoy your tanking. I can hear a lawnmower going. Someone's already mowing the lawn at 8:20 on Sunday. Glad it's not me. I already did it. See you guys. Stay cold or warm if you're in a cold place, and we will see you.